Hi YouTube family. It is approximately 4:13 a.m. in the morning and I am up. I'm home. This is my first night home, so I've actually been laying in the bed all day after the surgery. Um, Trying to get my body well. I I was in the hospital for 3 days actually instead of two. Um, and they wanted to basically take me through the transition of um, liquids to full liquids to pureed foods. I actually, let me just move that out my, excuse my scarf. It is like late in the morning. I mean early in the morning. So I had an opportunity to go through that transition. So I am on pureed foods at this time. Um, I'm not feeling too good, and I can't wait for this time to pass. I, when I got home, I felt really, really nauseous. Um, and so I had to throw up. And I was really regretting that. The first time I had experienced that was when, after the surgery, the next day, you go for an upper GI, and you have to drink this god awful liquid to help you see if there are any leaks anywhere around the pouch or if there are any leaks to anything that they've done to your stomach. But yeah, I was really nervous about that. I was supposed to do the upper GI at 7 a.m. that morning. I didn't get it until around 4 p.m. that next day. So I had been without any type of nourishment, liquids, or anything like that in the hospital. So, needless to say, I was quite upset about that. But that was the first time that I had experienced. Okay. Um, I'll continue. Needless to say, that was the first time that I had felt nauseous. Then this came. It hit me from out of nowhere. I felt very, very sick, very nauseous, and I had to throw up. But it was like dry heaves because I had no food. I haven't had food since Sunday night, the night actually before surgery. So I didn't have anything on my stomach, and it wasn't a good situation. I was very scared. And I don't know if anybody out there in the weight loss community who has had either the lap band, the gastric sleeve, or the Roux-en-Y, if you could actually leave me a post and tell me, that that's normal, or, what causes that. So I'm over it now. Some of the other concerns that I have just at this point is my stomach is very, 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 very gassy. It's just like I can feel it. It's like a little motorboat in there. Um, Also, I have not been able to drink a lot of liquids. As soon as I eat or drink anything, my stomach gets really tight, and at this point where it's still healing, it feels like my stomach is going to explode. It just feels really tight and uncomfortable. So I've been trying not to have that feeling anymore because it feels like on Thanksgiving time, after everybody's eaten, you stuff yourself to the gill. That's what it feels like, and it's uncomfortable, and you might have to do an Alka-Seltzer or something like that. That's what it feels like to me just after eating like maybe 2 to 4 ounces of food. In the feeling, it doesn't feel good. What they told me at the hospital and what the doctor further explained to me is that because everything in there is so inflamed, um, that it has to heal, and that feeling of fullness will be alleviated once it heals, and then you won't feel like that. You'll feel as if you can um, get more food down, but it'll feel normal, and so I can't wait for that. Sorry. So right now, I'm working on a bottle of water that I've been drinking since it's 4 a.m. I've been drinking on this water. I put a raspberry lemonade Crystal Light in there, and I've been drinking on this glass of water for about 8 hours. And I've also been drinking on this Advantage protein shake. It's a lot to take in, and so with that said, I'm really concerned that I cannot get all of my nutrients in. I'm also concerned about not getting all the protein in. I'm very scared of that. I have a lot of fears right now. I don't regret making the decision because I know once my body heals, and I'm going to give it that time to heal. I don't regret any decisions that I've made, but while I am going through this process of healing, I just have a lot of fears about my body, about my hair, about my vitamins, about my nutrients, and not getting everything in and down the way it should be. I never want to feel that feeling of having to throw up again, especially with my stomach being so sore. I'm not going to do a body shot right now because I haven't lost any weight. When I went into the hospital, my pre-surgery weight was 295. I kind of weighed myself, stepped on the scale. When I got home, it was 294, and I haven't had food in literally like 4 days. But from that was uh, the fact that I was on an IV and they were like pumping the fluids through. So when I was in the hospital, I was going to the bathroom every hour, on the hour, right away. So they were doing that so that I didn't get dehydrated, and that is one of the fears right now, that I will get dehydrated and from not getting all of my liquids in. So I'm just horribly scared about that. So if actually somebody could leave a post and let me know what they did right after that healing process. I'm sorry, during the healing process, right after surgery, to combat the feeling of fullness, to get all of your water in, cut, because you're supposed to not only get your food in, you're supposed to get your water in, and you're supposed to get your protein in. I have a problem with that. How do we do that? So if somebody could let me know or tell me how to do that, that would be great. But other than that, I am going to head out. It's 4:30 in the morning. I think what I'll do next, since I am on pureed foods and my mother is here for the night, I'm going tomorrow, well, this morning when we get up, I'm going to actually puree some foods. My mother couldn't operate my blender, and I know it's not broken. So I need to go down there, get downstairs in the kitchen, and blend up some things. And I have these very small containers, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, I'm back. I wanted to I've been stopping the recording because I look a hot mess. When I get up, I set my jammies and I didn't want to fright anybody. But these are the containers that I have. I actually got these from the dollar store. They have tops to them, and I did get these. Sorry. Those small spoons are very important because you don't want to choke while you're trying to get food to go down. And the opening is really small, so that's another one of the fears that I have with that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look up some recipes on YouTube. I have some reading that I need to do. Just a couple of days of my hospital experience was not very well. I had a very mean nurse, and I'll tell you about that when I feel better. With that said, I did not get all of my discharge papers, um, and I just wanted to really get out of there. I didn't get a lot of the reading that I need. So I have some reading that I got from the dietitian and that I got from the dietitian when I was in the hospital and the dietitian before the hospital. So I do have that information, but I did not get a lot of the reading that I needed when I was discharged because of the interaction that I had with a nurse, one particular nurse. There was a couple of nurses, and I'll explain that more when I feel better. But right now, I just wanted to get something on and let people know that I am alive, um, and let people know how I'm doing. And I wish everybody, anybody who is having this procedure, who has a surgery date, who is getting it done, I wish you well, and my prayers are with you. Let me know who you are so that I can pray. Just your name and your surgery date, and I will include you on my prayer list. So I'm going to end this video now and try to get a couple of hours of sleep before I get up in the morning to start making recipes and freezing pureed food, or actually just putting it in the refrigerator, not necessarily freezing it because I don't need to go through it, but I'll do a video with all of that information. Okay, YouTube family, have a good morning.